Hey, hola mi amigos. Welcome back to another Screw Toy action figure review. And before we get started, make sure you guys hit that like, subscribe, and bell notification to let you guys know when I go live or post a new video. Now, the figure that we'll be looking at here today is the Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse Miles Morales by Sentinel. And this figure did come out about a year ago, but this right here is the reissue that was a GameStop exclusive. I was able to get my hands on him right before he sold out completely on the website. And he looks amazing. I did play with him quite a bit these last couple of hours, so kind of already know what's going on with this figure, but we'll get a quick look here at the packaging, then we'll get a quick look at the figure itself. Now getting a quick look at the packaging, I do enjoy it quite a bit. It's very sleek, very small, very compact. Not a lot of plastic, but it does come with enough windows to show you what's in the box. So starting off with the front, you do get the very nice Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse logo, SV Miles Morales, the name of the character. Window that shows here some of the figure and some of the head sculpts, some of the accessories. This was a GameStop exclusive, or the reissue was. Very nice promo image of the figure right there. On the side, more promotional images that do look quite nice. On the back, very nice recreation of the poster from the movie with the action figure. On top, logo of the movie. On the side, some more promotional images. On the bottom, you get a whole bunch of bullshit and the barcode right there. But yeah, man, very nice little packaging. Let's crack this bad boy open. Now getting a quick look at all the accessories that Miles Morales does come with. He does come with an instruction book that I recommend you look over. Comes with all the stuff that it comes with, how to change the parts, how the stand works, how the accessories work. It's a very informative little piece of instructions right here. And then he does come with this overly complicated ass stand. I don't know how well y'all can see it. But yeah, this thing was a pain in the ass to try to figure out. The way you do it is you pop off one of these clear pieces of plastic right there from the bottom. It's very simple. Just push from the top and it on pegs. And then you push the arm through this little slot, and then this little piece of plastic right there, you have to kind of slide over it so it won't come out. Again, very complicated for no reason. And then you can't really move it other than between these notches right here. I don't know how well you can see it. The little pegs right there. You can't move them past that unless you take that off and then remove it over here and then replug it in. So again, very complicated for no reason. So not a big fan of this stand. It does articulate pretty well. It does have a joint here, here, and here. And then the clamp does rotate, and at the base it rotates as well, and then the clamps open like this. But it is one of those stands where the clamps or the little hooks that hold on to the figure do pop out fairly easy, as you can see. So again, not the biggest fan of this stand. Now before we get a quick look at all the hands that Miles Morales does come with, I do want to point out that all the hands that he does come with at the wrist, they do not articulate other than swiveling. There is no hinge, there is no ball joint there at the wrist, which is a little bit unfortunate. And I thought it would bother me a lot more, but after messing with him, it actually doesn't. And I'll get further into that as we go on. But yeah, straight out of the packaging, he does come with a set of fists. He also does come with a set of open, relaxed hands. A set of these very open, dramatic hands, and I really do enjoy these hands quite a bit. It gives this figure so much character. He also does come with a set of wall crawling hands. Now Miles does come with a hand to hold on to the little cell phone that he came with, and the cell phone itself is just a square little piece of plastic with a sticker over it that shows someone calling Miles. And he also does come with a right hand with a spray can already molded onto it. Miles does come with two gripping hands, and these gripping hands are for his sledgehammer that he does come with. And I really like that they included this little sledgehammer. Very nice callback from the movie when Spider-Ham gives it to him to beat the shit out of Kingpin. Now, the last set of hands that he does come with, and probably the most important hands that he does come with, are his whipping hands. And the only complaint I have about these hands is that the webs are already molded onto the hands. They cannot be removed, so if you want, Miles whipping without the webs, that is unfortunate because he won't be able to do that. I believe you can unpeg those webs, but they're glued on, so once you remove them, you won't be able to put them back unless you glue them back on. But like I said at the beginning of the video, the reason that the hands not being hinged or, having any articulation other than swivel doesn't really bother me is because most of the hands that he does come with are already fixed in a position where if you were to pop them on, that's the way you would have articulated them. So there's no need really for articulation in the wrist, because they're already fixed in the way that you would most likely put them in, if that makes any sense. Now, probably one of the best features of this figure is that you can give him a whole other look by giving him his clothing. And this is probably one of my biggest pet peeves or annoyance of this figure, is that he didn't come with soft goods. Instead, they chose to do plastic, and it kind of hinders the figure quite a bit. Good thing though is that 5K Toys, which is a retail from overseas or imports if I'm not mistaken, has announced that there is a third-party company making soft goods for this figure, and I think it's like 26 bucks shipped. So great price. Probably going to pick it up for my Sentinel Miles Morales. But I want to show y'all on camera how you switch out his clothing. It's quite simple, but it is tedious. So to give him his shorts, you do pop them here at the lower waist, which comes off fairly easy. You pop on the shorts, which pops on pretty well. And then he does have these little pegs in there to kind of stop the holes from shrinking. So you remove those, which come out pretty easily. You grab his lower waist and legs. You pop them from the top of the knee, as you can see there. So you do that with both legs. And then you do, right leg right there. And then you pop it on right there. And then to give him his shoes, you obviously pop off. Oh, there goes one of the pegs. The feet, you grab his, not Jordans. I guess they couldn't get the license to do the Nike symbol. We're trying to shimmy it on. It's quite difficult. There we go. Then you grab the other one. Pop it on, and you can hear a very nice pop. Grab his arms, pop them off at the shoulder. And this one on the left arm, the shoulder is fairly loose. It pops off very frequently, so I'm gonna have to run that under cold water and kind of get it to get a little bit more tight and not pop off as easily. The sleeves are on this peg again to stop the holes from shrinking. You grab his little hoodie and jacket, slide it over his shoulders, grab the arms, and you pop them on. This one doesn't want to pop on. There we go. And you grab the other one, pop that one on, which is kind of awkward to do. And then you grab his fist right here, and then his other fist, and then you remove the pegs from the wrists of the jacket, or the cuffs of the jacket. Pop on his hands, grab his other hand, and pop it on. Oh, that was kind of stiff. There we go. And then grab his hoodie, and it does have a slot back there and a peg right there on the hoodie. So you kind of shimmy that around the neck and push it in there, which is kind of awkward to do. It doesn't really want to stay on there. And boom. Yeah, that hoodie doesn't really want to stay on there that well. I've tried it over and over, and it doesn't really stay on there well. So I like to grab the little down one. And it looks a lot better. But boom, there you go. And then you have Miles and his little getup where he kind of has clothing over his Spider-Man suit. And again, I'm not the biggest fan of this look on this figure, as it looks very stiff, looks very awkward, doesn't look natural. The hoodie right here and the jacket are flared out to the sides to make it look like he's kind of like windswept. The little tassels here are ropes, I can't remember the name of them, but here on the hoodie, the pull strings, there we go, are again kind of flowing off, so it kind of always looks like he's jumping or in mid-jump. And I'm not the biggest fan of that. The shorts don't look that bad. It honestly doesn't bother me too much, and it doesn't hinder articulation at all. So it doesn't look bad. The cool thing about these Jordans, or not Jordans, his shoes, is that you can give them several options. You can give them untied shoelaces that do peg on there, fairly easy. Or you can give him the option of having his shoes tied. So Really like that they give us that option, as in the movie he does say that he chooses to wear his shoes untied, as it is a fashion statement, I guess. But yeah, you can have them tied or untied. And again, man, very nice little uh, option if you want him, displayed in his clothes. But I'm just gonna have him in his Spider-Man costume. I don't think I'll have him with this. I will buy that third-party company's soft goods for this figure, as I think soft goods just looks better. But yeah, nice little option if you like it. One of my favorite accessories that Miles does come with are these headphones, as in the movie. He was always seen listening to music, and he was very, you know, into music, hip hop music. So having him with these headphones really reminds me of me in high school when I was really into music and always getting lost and just, listening to hip hop in my headphones. So really relatable, and I'm happy that he does come with these headphones. The only other web accessory that Miles does come with, other than the web that comes on the whipping hands, is this very nice long swinging web. Again, I wish he would have came with more, but as is, this does do the job. Now, Miles does come with 3 different head sculpts. The first one being a very neutral and simple head sculpt. The second head sculpt that he does come with is this very expressive and wacky head sculpt with one eye bigger than the other. And last but certainly not least, the last head sculpt that he does come with is this unmasked Miles Morales head sculpt. And this head sculpt is almost perfect. It looks like it jumped straight out of the movie. The only complaint I have about it is that he's looking off to the side and not forward. And here we have Miles Morales. And I'm sorry that the accessory segment took so long. He just comes with so many accessories, man. But getting a close-up look at Miles Morales, I really love the big lenses that he does come with. This figure just pretty much jumped straight out of the screen into plastic form. The lenses are a separate piece that I believe are glued onto the head sculpt. But yeah, they look very nice, very clean, very crisp. The web lines and texture is all actually sculpted and painted in. Those web lines are painted in a very nice gray color. The logo on the back, I believe, is digitally printed or painted, as it is very, very crisp and clean, as well as all the red areas on this figure. The front of the logo, again, very nice, crisp and clean. The web lines, all very nicely done. The texture throughout the whole figure, man, is very nice. You can see those web lines in there painted very nicely. But yeah, there's not much to this figure, man. He's very small, very thin. I've never held the Mafex Into the Spider-Verse Miles in hand, but I heard he's a lot thinner than this guy right here. But he doesn't feel fragile at all. I've been twisting him, bending him, posing him, and he feels very, very sturdy. The only thing about mine is that the shoulder seems to pop off fairly easy on the left arm, and now that I'm moving it around, of course, oh, there it is. It pops off fairly easy, but again, that's if I'm moving it around like crazy. I wish it was a little bit on there, a little bit tighter, but as is, it's still pretty good. But yeah, man, solid figure, man. I waited so long to pick it up. I just kept putting it off and off and off, and then eventually GameStop re-released or reissued, or Sentinel reissued this figure and updated some minor tweaks that it needed. Like the neck used to be a lot stumpier on the first release, and it was sold here in the US through GameStop. It was a GameStop exclusive, so I eventually picked him up, and thankfully I did, because the next day he was sold out. After months and months of waiting, I finally pulled the trigger, and thankfully I did the day that I did, because the very next day he was gone. So very happy to have him in hand, but now that I have him in hand, I need to go back and get Peter P. Parker, and I pre-ordered the SPDR that's supposed to be releasing here in June. So yeah, very happy to have him in hand. But let's get a closer look at Articulation, then we'll get some size comparisons. Now getting a quick look at Articulation, his head is on a dumbbell joint, and he can look up just about that much. He can look down that much, which is a great amount. He gets great head pivoting. His arms are on ball joints, and they move up a great amount, as you can see there. You can hit a T-pose very, very easy. He does have upper bicep swivel, double jointed elbows that bend in pretty much all the way, man. I mean, it doesn't get better than that. He does have a swivel at the wrist, but again, no other articulation. I wish there was a ball joint there, but honestly, it's not needed. He doesn't have butterfly joints, but these arms shift a great amount back, man. I mean, look at that. It does get gappy, but come on. That is great for not having butterfly joints. And look, oh, see, there goes the arm again. Look at the amount that he can go in without butterfly joints. Amazing, amazing. I love it. He does have a upper diaphragm cut for the torso that pivots this much to this side, this much to this side, crunches this much forward, that much back. He does have a lower ball joint here at the waist. So with those two together, he can crunch that much back and great amount forward. I mean, look at that. He does have shifting at the upper thigh. He does have double jointed knees that bend in a great amount. And then he does have ball joints at the ankles that go this much forward, that much back, and then he does get some rocking action right there and toe articulation. Now getting a quick look at some size comparisons. Here we have Miles next to the Marvel Legends Retro Card Spider-Man, the Mafex Ben Reilly. And since this character will be appearing in the next Into the Spider-Verse movie, here we have the Mezco Spider-Man 2099. Here he is next to his Marvel Legends Gamerverse counterpart, Mafex Carnage. And last but not least, here he is next to the Marvel Legends Unparalleled Captain America and the 80th anniversary Thor. And there you have it, a very, very solid offering by Sentinel Toys. They killed it, man. They absolutely killed this figure. I love him. He's definitely one of my favorite figures in my collection by far. He's up there with like top 3, man, for sure. Top 3, one of my favorite figures. He's just very fun, very fluid. The joints are very fluid, very smooth. His articulation is great. He doesn't have the typical setup of a super highly articulated figure. Like, he doesn't have drop down hips. He doesn't have butterfly joints, but he can still get all those poses that any other figure with those points of articulation can get. He's just a solid figure, man. The paint apps are solid, crisp, and clean. Like, there's no sloppiness on this figure whatsoever. The accessories, I mean, what else can you ask for, man? Again, I wish the clothing was soft goods, actual cloth, but as is, it's still a very solid offering. Again, the third-party company is going to be releasing some soft goods for $25. So very happy to have that, an option for this figure. But again, man, just a very solid figure. And I cannot wait to get my hands on Peter B. Parker. Cannot wait to get him, man. Miles is one of my favorite characters in the Marvel Universe. But Spider-Man, just classic Spider-Man, is my absolute favorite. So if I love this figure, man, I can only imagine how I'm going to feel about Peter B. Parker. So again, I don't want to go on and on because I know this video is pretty sure it's like an hour long at this point. But yeah, man, thank y'all for watching. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, hit the bell notification bell to let you guys know when I go live or post a new video. Follow me on my Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. The links to all those are in the description down below. And I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.